What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of My Hero Academia Season 4. Woo! Hero Walker is back again. Seriously, enough with the delays and the constant shifting of episodes. Bones, it's getting kind of ridiculous at this point. Now, first time, with the typhoon that hit Japan, a few weeks back, when the first episode came out, obviously delays. That was to be expected. Now, thankfully, Funimation was still able to get the okay from Studio Bones or Toho Animation or whatever to still air the episode, which is what we got. So we got until the episode came out on time. But then last week it got delayed again because of fucking rugby. Rugby! Fucking rugby. I don't even know why. Maybe when the rugby game was playing, it took Hiroaka's time slot. I don't know. I don't know why they're getting delayed by fucking rugby. It's fucking rugby. Who the fuck cares about rugby? Is it popular in Japan? Can someone please explain this anomaly to me? Anyway, whatever the case may be, and holy shit, no one was bitching about anything in last week's episode. Praise be to Jesus, let's break out a little bit of bubbly. Although they'll probably be bitching about Eri, so so enjoy the squad while we got it, boys. Anyway, so this let me just talk about the episode right quick before we jump right in. This episode's fun, man. Like legit. I almost want to come out here and say that this is the greatest episode of Hero Walker so far, but with, of course, the All Might versus All for One fight, as well as Izuku versus Bakugo 2, I think I'd probably give those episodes the slight edge. But this episode, fucking amazing. Definitely a solid third place. I love this episode, man. This episode's fucking fantastic, man. And Izuku, my boy. My boy! I love my man Izuku, man. We'll talk about him. Overhaul, it's great again. I love the English dub voice, and my god, Justin Briner and Chris Sabath deserve fucking awards. As well as the guy, I forget the dude's name. His name hasn't stuck in my head yet. The guy that voices Sir Night-Eye, they deserve fucking awards for this episode. We'll talk about that when we get there. So anyway, guys, let's just jump right in. So we start this episode off. You got Izuku and Togata. They're walking down doing patrol. I don't know what it is, but for some reason Izuku kind of looked a little stiff here. Like the enemies looked a little stiff. It looked a little natural. I don't know that's because Izuku kind of feels a little awkward doing this, because he even mentions that he's patrolling, how this guy feels a little weird because he wasn't really doing performance. Because remember, when he had his internship, all the dude was tracking down Stain the entire time. So this is definitely new to him. So that was probably done on purpose like that. Or maybe it's just me. I don't fucking know. Whatever the case may be. They're walking and talking, and then you see this one girl with cat ears, another one has dog ears. Seriously, some of these quirks that people have I remember I think it was in season 3, one dude had a horn on his head, and I was like, are we not gonna bring this up? One of a news reporter or something had a horn on his head or something. I don't know. But and then Togata asked him, we should talk about our hearing. I was like, what our hearing is? Izuku tells him that his is Deku, and Togata's like, Deku? Like Deck? And they actually showed the kanji for Deku and Deck. So, I was actually surprised that Horikoshi threw a Zelda reference in here for Majora's Mask, because you guys played Majora's Mask, so you know of Majora's Mask. You know that actually one of the masks Link could equip was called Deku. That shrub thing? So, that was interesting. I was surprised he didn't throw that in there. But whatever the case is, they're walking, and that's when, of course, Izuku runs into Eri, and my god, that girl said flying after she bumps into Izuku. It's like she was on a trip, but she got pulled back by some rope with how far she got pulled back, and how far she ended up getting jumped back. But anyway, so then Izuku goes over to attend her, puts his hand out. She's starts to get scared. Then she tries to puts his hands over her armpits to lift her up, and it's like she's trembling. And then we see Overhaul, and my guy, I'll say it again. I said it before, but I'll say it again. I fucking love Overhaul's English voice, man. Him in the Japanese sounds pretty good. Which, fun fact, he actually is the voice of Norman Reedus in Death Stranding, which was weird to see when I actually watched the TGS gameplay finally. Also, speaking of Togata. Recently, I think last week, I uploaded my thoughts on the interview between Tite Kubo and Horikoshi, of course, the manga Bleach Hiroaka. So you guys want to check what my thoughts are from that interview, I'll have it up in the iCards above if I remember to put it there. So yeah, but I should warn you, anime only, there is a split for season 4 in there, and if you guys want to read the whole article for yourself, or the whole interview, there is, I would probably think, a major spoiler for season 5, so read at your own risk if you guys want it, if you're interested. Anyway, back to the episode. So overall, it's be careful now. You don't want to let's not get involved. Let's not, get in the way of the heroes. So, of course, it's OP plays. Goddamn, I fucking love the OP for season 4, man. And so we get back. He's like, sorry, my daughter likes to play rough. I don't know what to do with her. She's always bumping into things. And then Izuku. And so then Izuku, and Izuku, by this point, the man is damn near shitting himself. Like, the look on his face, like, you could read Izuku like a book most of the time. And this man is, you could tell this man's fucking scared shitless. He's like, fuck, I'm in presence of overhaul, man, what do I do? And, well, they're kind of talking over, Togato puts Izuku's Mac up there to mask the fact how he's so scared, to make sure it's not as suspicious. Also, I gotta praise Togato here, like, even though the dude kind of comes off, like, kind of funny and, like, I don't know, like, I can't think of the word, but you guys probably get what I'm saying, that the way he just kind of acts carefree, almost be like, I gotta go see, or I'll show you the basics, when he was doing that shit with his arms early on the episode, but when shit hits the fan, the dude gets serious. And also, I forgot to talk about, Togato's hero name, so let me talk about that real quick. Togato's hero name, now you guys know that on his chest, the number 1,000,000 is in there front and center on his jacket, or on his, like, chest, on his costume. And his name is Lemillion. Let's save a million. Very clever there on that, on Horikoshi's part for that hero name. And that he knows he can't save everyone, but he wants to at least save 1,000,000 people. Which I think that's kind of cool. And also that his name is Lemillion. Let's say 1,000,000. I thought that was a really clever hero name. So props to Horikoshi for that one. Anyway. So, but here you can definitely see how he's like, the dude's getting like very serious right here. He's like, he's like, oh man, that pesky mask fell off again, man. You should probably get that resized, man. And then we see some internal, thoughts going on. He's like, all right, this is so we can't tell him that. We can't tell him about Sir Night-Eye. We gotta go. I know. This is just making more suspicious. And so then he tries to leave the situation with Izuku, just get out there, be like, oh yeah, and just leave. He says, oh, right, Parr, come on, we gotta finish up this division by lunchtime. Come on, let's go. We can't patrol from down there. Come on. And Izuku's like, right. He tries to leave, but Eri, man, I can tell, I had a feeling Eri was gonna pull up my heartstrings, man. But man, I swear to God, this little girl's gonna make me fucking cry or something. Like, this was fucking heartbreaking, man. She tightens her grip on Izuku, and she's like, please don't go. I'm like, oh, Eddie, I want to hug you. I just want to give the poor girl a hug, man. Like, oh, man, this is good. I know Chibi said this is going to be dark, but Jesus Christ, man. With Eddie, Lord help us all. This is going to be dark. I'm going to love him, but man, this season's going to be fucking heartbreaking with Eddie, man. Absolutely heartbreaking. Now, so then, once that happens, you can tell that Izuku's hero instincts instantly take over at that point. Because the man starts to cry. His fear pretty much kind of dissipates a lot by this point, and you could, like, remember in all the other times when Izuku kind of like goes into hero mode almost, where like he's instantly just take over, like when you say Bakugo back in season 1. The same thing I would say happens here, where Izuku, the man before, like I mentioned before, was kind of scared. You could hear that in Justin's voice, but here the fear has kind of gone away, and you can just see Izuku just being here, wanting to protect this little girl who is trembling and very much scared. And if there's one in my boy, man, I'm grabbing. I'm like, Izuku, stop being Captain America for 5 seconds, man. Because I'm like, no, this is gonna get bad, man. This is gonna get bad. But if there's one thing I love about Izuku, and I'm pretty sure this was done on purpose by Horikoshi, so we know the dude is a huge comic book fan. The dude loves Marvel, and I'm assuming DC as well. Because I heard, because it looks like recently he's starting to add elements of DC in there from what I've seen in the manga. But anyway, like, like Izuku, I would definitely say he's like if you took Captain America, Spider-Man, and Batman and threw them into a blender, because he has Bruce's mind, he has Steve's heart, and I would say Spidey's spirit. He has that, like, never go down Spider-Man type, spirit where he just can't go down no matter what happens. He has the heart of Steve Rogers from just how good-hearted he is, and the man's always thinking on his feet. That's why I say he's like Batman. Like I mentioned, he has pretty much Batman's brain minus the paranoia. So, And Izuku starts, he's like, excuse me, but your daughter seems scared. And overall starts to narrow his eyes a little bit. And oh my god, the dub. Oh, I love this dub. Oh, the English dub for Hero Walker is so fucking good, man. I love Justin Briner. I love Chris Stout. I love the whole cast. Anyway, he's like, a reaction to being scolded. And so then she like starts to like tighten her grip a little bit more, and she's like, and she mentions how she has bandages all over him, and all over her, and he's like, Aries is an extremely clumsy girl, and he's like, and then and now she's shaking. And also mentions the bandages. He's like, does that? And Izuku just straight up says, does that look normal to you? And overall starts to narrow his eyes again. He's like, it's dangerous to make assumptions of what's normal for other people. Togata, the man wants to get the fuck out as quickly as possible. He's like, yeah, man, different strokes for different folks, am I right? He's like, come on, let's get the fuck out of here, man. He's like, is he getting more suspicious? Come on, man, we need to let this go. Izuku, the man just can't, because, that's how much of a hero he is. It's like one hero would just abandon this little girl like this, man. Oh, I love Izuku, man. And then we also get like this flash, little like hear back this flash from what Togata said earlier on the episode, and he says that once we put the costumes on, we're heroes. And then Izuku just kind of puts his hand on the back of Aries' head, and he says, "Tell me," and he just straight up asks, "Tell me, what are you doing to this little girl?" He just straight up asked because he wanted to know what the fuck you doing to Aries, and he's like. Well, you heroes certainly pick up on the smallest details, don't you? Well, this is kind of embarrassing, so I prefer we discuss this where we wouldn't be overheard. And then he points to the alley that they just came out of. I'm like, yeah, that's not suspicious in the slightest! Izuku picks up Eri, and him and Togata walk over to the alleyway. And he goes on about how, it's kind of embarrassing that you can't control your child, but Eri disobeys everything I try with her. And Izuku thinks to himself, what do you try with her? It's like, yeah, man, parenting's hard, isn't it? And then at this point, you can see that Overhaul is slowly starting to take off his glove to use his to use whatever the hell his quirk is. Eri knows it, and the shots where we just see Eri on an Overhaul's eyes, man, my god, looked amazing. I could only imagine what it was like in the manga, because remember, Shigaraki's face looked the anime looked creepy, but if you see the manga version of it, it's fucking horrifying, man. Like, it's damn near Berserk quality art. I'm so curious what the eyes looked right here in the manga. I almost low-key want to check out the chapter, but I won't, because I don't want to spoil myself. So I'll just wait till I get to that part of the manga when I start reading up to season 4. Anyway, it looked amazing, man. And at this point, Eri knows that Overhaul's going to go over there and try to kill Izuku and Togata. So she just gets off of Izuku and runs over back to Overhaul. And he's like, are you done with your temper tantrum? She nods yes. And Izuku's like, Eri, are you okay? Are you sure? And he's like, and then they just walk, and then she's like, oh, don't worry, she does this all the time. They walk away. And she's like, wait! And Izuku wants to keep going. He wants to save this girl, but Togata stops and tells like, come on, man. If they get more suspicious if we keep going. We just gotta tell Sir Night and leave it at that. So, they leave. And we head over to Sir Night and Bubble Girl, who are staking out the place. And right around here it starts ringing. Izuku pulls off his mask. Now, last night actually, while I was while I was on Instagram, I saw this post, where some people, there's a bunch of people that always compare and contrast, like, oh hey, here's what this scene looked like in the manga, and here how it looked in the anime. This is nothing new. This was from the little screenshots that were brought, that were given, that were that the Hero Walk official Instagram account, Twitter account showed up before the episode aired, and one of them actually showed this scene with Izuku pulling the mask. Now it looked like in the manga, because I can't find the post anymore. I can't find where the post was. It looked like Izuku actually was looking in front of a mirror when he pulled his mask. Which if that was the case, I would have liked to see that version instead, because I think that would have been a little bit more powerful. I guess I don't know. That would have been a little bit cooler to see. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah. We head over to Sir Night and Bubble Girl. They're staking out where Shigechi is saying that, and they're like, after a week of surveillance, it looks like there's less entries in and out now. Less entries in and out today. And then Bubble Girl gets a little call, and it's Lemillion saying that they got in contact with Shigechi. We head over to then we actually have her head over to Overhaul's place, underground, and he's like, the young people today are sicker than ever. He tells the guy next to him, prepare the bath. Yes, sir. And then the guy's like, I'm sure was holding Eri before she made the break for it and ran, and when she bumped into Izuku, he's like, I'm sorry, sir. I swear to God, I only looked away for a half second. She made a break for it, and Overall takes his glove off, and his head explodes or whatever. He's like, and clean that up. and his face starts to break up in hives. He's like, "This is maddening. They're all infected with hero syndrome." And Ares like has her like covering her ears, and she's like, then she's like crying and she's shaking and everything. Like, oh man, Ares, man, she breaks my heart, man. Ares breaks my heart seeing her like this. But now, before we go back right into the episode and talk about what's going on here with Sir Night Eye and Izuku and the guys, I gotta talk about Overhaul's design. This is something I've been meaning to talk about. Is Overhaul's design, what I think about him, theories, and what do I think his quirk is. This is all stuff that Chibi mentioned in his videos. So we can tell now, judging from the way he always talks about sickness, and he's like, ugh, I hate filthy. He's like, and like when Togata said, like, oh, you must be part of the game because of the mask. He's like, please don't mind the mask. It keeps out the filth. Talks about filth, sickness, disease, and everything. And the fact that where his mask looks like a crow mask, of course, that was very, that was what plague doctors would wear when the plague broke out to make sure they didn't get, infected. That's what they wore. And judging from the fact how he talks about germs, diseases, and filth, and says like, this keeps the filth out. This is why I hate the aftermath. Clean this up, prepare the bath, and he breaks out hives. I would assume that Overhaul is a bit of a germaphobe, and also the fact that he wears gloves. It makes you think that probably Overhaul is a bit of a germaphobe, or he just hates to get dirty, gets his tight. He's like kind of the guy that would probably always as soon as he touches something, puts in like a shit ton of hand sanitizer in his hand to make sure that there's nothing got on him. It's not that Overhaul comes out like one of those guys. Now, we saw that when he uses his powers, at least here, he broke out in hives when he used it. Or that could have been from the fact how pissed off he was. What I think Overhaul is, judging from his design, his power, and his quirk, and from what we see later on in the episode, I think his quirk, what it works like, is somehow a blood type quirk or like a disease type quirk. But it kind of also affects him. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get his backstory, which we're going to eventually get. Something happened in childhood that gave him his quirk the way it is. Maybe he got, covered in something dirty, like he got covered in mud one day, maybe in shit, I don't know, or something along those lines, or like maybe he was born with some untreatable disease that made him very contagious, or he was just very permeable to disease because maybe it was immune system wasn't all that strong. What I think happens, something along those lines happened, and I think when he uses his quirk, he changes the blood in their people, and when he touches them, he infects them with maybe their blood explodes or something, or some disease that makes them explode, something along those lines. I think that's my little theory on Overhaul and what his quirk could possibly, because I feel like it has to be something along those lines, like something like dealing with a disease or something, judging from the way he dresses, the way he talks, and the way he just acts about germs and everything. I'm assuming it's something along those lines. Manga readers, don't tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'll wait till we get there. So anyway, back to Izuku and Overhaul. Izuku, Togata apologizing, what are the odds of, sorry about that, was 0, what was the odds of you running into him in the street, and Overhaul's, and Sir Night Eye's like, nah, man, I should have used foresight on you too, it's my fault, I take responsibility, yada, yada, yada. And, Izuku says, it wasn't, and, Bubblegum mentions how scary it probably was, and Izuku says, it wasn't all that scary to me, which at first I was like, bruh, you look like you were about to shit yourself earlier, but then, I remembered, once Izuku, hero instincts take over, all the fear he had was gone. What I'm pretty sure Izuku means by that, he probably says, because of how focused he was on saving Eri, he had no time to think about the fear of getting caught, or facing off against, Overhaul. So that's why I probably think why he said that the way he did, because he was probably so focused on saving Eri that he didn't have time to think about fear, or be scared or whatever. So, anyway, Sir Night Eye mentions how, that he was involved in a traffic accident with a bunch of hoodlums, and that's what leads us. But then when they got there, the hoodlums were in intense pain, they passed out. The cops got to them, and they got arrested. But he mentions how all of them, that all of them felt better than ever, and all the previous ails they had, cavities, were gone. And they mentioned how this could have been Overhaul's quirk at work, but since there was no real crime that got committed, they had nothing to prosecute him with or charge him with, so they let him go. This is why I think that there's probably he probably a disease type quirk or something along those lines, because he probably cured them of their ailments. So I'm assuming it's something like that. Maybe he can cure diseases. Maybe he can like change their blood to make it explode. Maybe shoot them with cancer cells. I don't know. Like it has to be something along those lines. Some disease type work. It has to be something along those lines. So anyway, they mentioned that, and there was also some other thing that happened. There was also some other thing they mentioned as well. But pretty much all leading to where they don't know. But these two events combined made sure, while they didn't have anything to prosecute with, it made them very suspicious of what happened. So that's when Sir Night-Eye came in and they kept watch on them to make sure to see what's going on, see if there's any fishing and see what's so fishy about this place. Sir Night-Eye also mentioned how they've also asked other hero agents to help them out their investigation, and this is when a little bit before Towa mentions about Eri, about the little girl, who is a supposed daughter, and I use very loose terms because you can tell from the ED alone. Now maybe that's a spoiler, but you can tell that motherfucker ain't her father. You know that because we saw in the ED her mother. So, and she looks like she was in a pretty loving guy before this motherfucker came in there and ransacked the place, you know. So, I'm even surprised they even bought that story, but whatever. I mean, maybe they did it and they're just saying that because, that's what he claims at the end. But anyway, Izuku mentions that we need to go and save her and try to help her. And now we know that Sir Night doesn't like Izuku, and that pretty much the only reason he probably sided Izuku was just to shit on him, which is what he does here. And Izuku tells him, we need to go save her, and he says, stop. I won't let your arrogance ruin this investigation. And Izuku's like, sir? And he's like, hey, your haste will not help. Don't be hasteful. Be patient. You'll slowly watch your target. If you just rush it in there, they'll probably be even more likely to escape. You're not so special that you can just save whoever whenever you want, whenever you want. That's definitely him throwing some mad shade. He goes like, yeah, dude, you got one for all, but you ain't shit. You ain't shit enough to where you can go save whoever the fuck you please. So stand down. Like that's pretty much what he's saying. Like before, he's putting down Izuku because of course he doesn't like him. I'm sure by the end of this arc, or the end of the season, he'll probably respect Izuku and finally acknowledge it. It's like, yeah, he should have gone. Yeah, All Might was right to give him one for all. Which I look forward to whenever we see talk about the last part of the episode where we see Izuku and All Might talk. Ooh, that's gonna be Justin Brana and Chris Salmon. Their performances there were a bit. But anyway, so after that, Sir Night tells him to pretty much wait at the headquarters at the Pyramids Dawn, and that Bubble Girl and Sir Night will take care of the rest. So they leave, and we head back to Overhaul. So we then see a door open leading to a chair that you could probably assume what its function is for. This chair is a torture device. Okay, maybe not that gross. I don't think Overhaul is that evil. At least I hope he isn't. Fuck me if he is. But we see this chair, and then we see one of the guys taking off the bandages off of Annie's arm. Now, what I think now, because I mentioned before, for season 4, I'm kind of like a pseudo manga reader because I mentioned before, I know some of the stuff that happens. I know this amazing event, this amazing cool thing that's going to happen between Eri and Izuku, probably around the end of the season, or maybe around the midpoint. I'm not sure where it was. But, knowing what happens there, and I'm going to try and say this without risking spoiling something for any anime onlys, I think there might be something in Eri's blood. And he also mentioned that, you can't keep doing that, Eri. You are like the centerpiece of my plan. You're the center of my plan. What I think is there might be something in Eri's blood that could help him. I'm not gonna say what he could use it for because I don't want to spoil y'all because of what her quirk is, but I'm assuming there might be something in her blood. That's all I'm gonna say because I feel like if I say any more I might risk spoiling some y'all, but we'll just leave it at that. So then we head back to UA. Bakugo, the man's beat up because of the training from the license exams, and so then we see Todoroki. He's in the same boat as well, and Mina is just talking about along with Kidashi with Kaminari, and then Bakugo's like, "Stop talking like I'm not even here." Clifford Chapman, man, I fucking love him as Bakugo. He is so fucking good as Bakugo. Anyway, so. And then she also comments, she sees Todoroki, she's like, oh my god, what they do to his beautiful face? And then we look over at Izuku and Mineta. Mineta, man. Like, this man never changed. I love Mineta. He says, so, You see these smoking hot babes while you were there? And I'm like, fam, out of everything you could have asked Izuku, you asked if there was any scantily clad heroines there. Man got priorities straight, if you ask me. And Izuku's like, Izuku, you can tell the man's not listening. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And from there, narration from Izuku mentions how he couldn't really focus in class because of all the pent-up frustration, whatever happened. So then the man comes marching into All Might's office, and my god, that man looked like he was on a fucking purpose. He had a purpose. That man was on a mission. The face he was showing, I was making his way over there. So Midnight tells him that he's not there, that he's busy jogging, and so Izuku runs over there and tries to fight All, and the man comes charging at him. He's like, "Oh man, I have to talk to you." He's like, "Oh, young Midoriya is here," and so. From there, All Might asks him why, or Izuku asks him why didn't he tell him? Why didn't he tell him about Sir Night-Eye? Why didn't he tell him about he knew about the court? And why didn't he tell him about Togata? He says, I didn't think it was my place to tell you. And he's like, of course it is. And he also said that he didn't think it would help him in his training. But Izuku wants to know. He's like, he says anything is better than you keeping secrets from me. And he says, just tell me. He's like, okay, but you might regret it. He says, I won't. So then All Might tells us about pretty much the last time All Might and Sir Night-Eye were working together. It was right after what happened with All for One. All Might, All Might's leaning against the wall. He's struggling trying to leave. I'm guessing going outside, but Sir Night-Eye along with Principal Nezu as well as what was the nurse's? What was the recovery girl and Gran Torino are there as well. All Might is just trying to walk away while Sir Night-Eye is telling dude, you need to stop, please stop. Because of the injury, he's staying for One for All. It's like you can't, you gotta stop, you have to retire. You need to retire while you're a legend, man. And Principal Nezu says, come on, why don't you, if you're looking for assistance, why don't you come over to UA? You paid your dues more than enough, All Might. And he's like, if I do that, how long will it take? And how long will it take for another hero to show up, another simple piece? And how long they're just going to be standing there while criminals run rampant and people are scared. I need to stay here and be there and say that I am still here. All Might starts to follow him, but Sir Night-Eye catches him. It's like, I know the value of the function of the symbol. I revere its function, but please, he's pleading with All Might to tell him to stop, retire, because he saw what is in All Might's future, and he tells him that, and he's trying to keep convincing him to stop. Just retire. Tell him there is another hero that will come up. You just stop right now. You need to stop. My visions are never wrong. Yada yada yada. And he says, sorry, I can't. How long will be there while people are still scared? How long? I can't. I have to keep being the symbol. I have to be there so people don't live scared. So people are always know yeah, he is here. He will protect us. That's why All Might can't retire just now. Until he was forced to retire. What happened with All for One? So, he tries to tell him, and that's when All Might knows that he also looked up in his future. Tells him that, I know that I'm here because I want to help you. I think I can change the future, and All Might's not listening. He just keeps moving forward. He tells him that instead you will die an unspeakably, I forget the exact words he used. It was like an unspeakably gruesome death. And that in the art here, man, you could tell this was just this was a full fucking page in the manga. I can tell just by looking at it. That was a full page in the manga, man. And when I heard that he died in unspeakable gruesome death, I was like, whoa, yo, this is getting crazy here. And that was pretty much the last time they were on. That's pretty much the last time. Before that, they still had a relation. Later on, he was going to meet with Togata, but I think he said the day before that's when he met Izuku. And he tells Sir Night-Eye that he's going to pick Izuku over Togata. And Sir Night-Eye didn't like this idea. He hated it. He was like, why are you giving this some quirkless kid over Togata? He says, because even though he might be quirkless, he has it. He has it. He is going to be the next symbol of peace. And, Sir Night-Eye ain't having this. He's like, this is stupid. I'm going to trade someone that's going to have to be worthy about One for All, which, of course, is Togata. And that's pretty much the last time they ever spoke. Which also, one other thing I forgot to mention. All Might and Sir Night-Eye were debating about when he was told him about that he was going to give Izuku One for All. He mentions that you can't save the world with intentions alone, which is something that Sir Night-Eye said to Izuku a little earlier in the episode while he was burying him. So That was nice. So that was a nice little callback there, I guess. That was interesting where it said, like, you can't say the world intentions alone then, and he still says that now when he's looking at Izuku. So. And then after all that, All Might kind of goes tears with his jaw, and Izuku just kind of sits there, just be like, All Might is gonna die? And the look on his face after All Might dropped that pipe bomb, man, it was like, you could tell it hit him all at once, where it finally hit him like, oh shit, he's gonna die. Which, it's normal. Death is normal, We're all gonna die eventually, but when you actually hear it, like, I am going to die, it hits you a little harder than it would have normally would. When you know that, it's also when it's so close. Izuku chases after All Might again, catches up with him, and he asks him, please All Might, tell me, how long? When did he tell you that you were going to die? He said 6 or 7 years, which would have been that's either going to happen this year or next year. And Izuku, he's at this part, he starts to cry a little bit. My God, Justin Briner. Man, that man puts up with probably like the best performance I've heard of him as Izuku, man. Like this shit fucking hit, man. This shit fucking hit, boys. So he tells him, do you remember what you told me at the sports festival? Look at that flashback where he says, announce to the world that that I am here. And he's like, but I can't do that yet. So live, he tells him to live, and All Might tells him, Yo Midoriya, I always expected that when Sir Night told me that I was going to die, I accepted that as my fate, and went full throttle till I hit the finish line. But once I faced off against All For One, I thought that's when I reached it. But then, you were there, kiddo. You see, every time we spent every day we spent together, you changed me. You were timid and quirkless. And by this point, I'm not doing this shit justice at all. Like, Chris Chapman, that man's a fucking legend. So shots behind them, like a projector. Shots of like a bunch of stuff from what the Izuku that happened between season 1 to season 3 start playing, and just looks so fucking epic. But you had a heart. And when your mom told me that I need to live to protect you and raise you, I decided that even with my fate, I will fight alongside you, and anything that comes between us will be dealt with this fist. And and All Might transformed into like his buff form, man. This shit's so fucking powerful, man. Like, I'm not doing this justice at all. And Izuku, the man's like a half a second away from just crying his eyes out, man. Like, it's just like, it was so powerful. He's like, I refuse to die. I won't let them end me. I will not let this fate come to pass. I'm like, Chris Allen, legend, GOAT. Man, this scene was so fucking powerful, man. All Might returns back to his base form and says, so you see, everything that turned out I say has come true, so that's why I can't face him, because everything he said is true. But he's like, but who knows? Maybe I've already reshaped my destiny. And he's just like, I'm not sure about that. We can't be certain for sure. That's why. And he extends his fist out. I will help you fight fate. And then him and All Might share a fist bump, man. Fucking badass, man. Legend, epic, man. And so All Might goes back to his jog, and then Izuku's just like, oh wait, why don't we go back to Sir Night? He uses force on you again to see if we change anything. It's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, young Midoriya. I mean, that's a little, it's a matter of life and death. But like, come on, young Midoriya, think about how Night feels about this. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. So yeah, wow, this episode was fucking amazing, man. Absolutely legendary, without a doubt one of the best episodes of Hiroaka so far. That last like 5 minutes was so powerful, with some powerful shit though, man. Like, yo. And look right for the next episode the next episode is going to be focusing on Kirishima. Now, I'm not sure if that's all be canceled, or this is once again going to be filler again, which I don't mind. These episodes where Bones kind of takes the time to focus on the other characters, like Sue they did with Season 3, or Season 2, and then Momo along with, Juzu, Sue, and the other guy from Season 3. I wouldn't mind if they're going to do the same thing with Kirishima, because I don't know, because I know there's also one other cool thing happens to Kirishima, that happens on, I believe, around Season 4 material stuff. So I don't think it's that, because I think that might be from later on, but if it is, alright, that's gonna be hype. So yeah, I'm into here, guys. Overall, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. Fucking legendary, guys. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flag, at least description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.